That's right, it has been a devastating 48 hours for the region of Emilia-Romagna. The damage here is unimaginable, according to local authorities. And that's because 21 rivers, like the one you can probably see behind me, they say that this emergency is far from over. So President Zelensky has landed at Ciampino Airport here in Rome about an hour ago and was greeted by Italy's Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani. Now, the details of his agenda for the day have not been made public because of security reasons. In fact, there are more than 1,000 security officers being deployed in Rome at the moment. President Zelensky has tweeted that he will be meeting with his counterpart, Italian President Sergio Mattarella, and after that with the Prime Minister, Giorgia Meloni. Now, that's not the first time that the two leaders meet. Meloni travelled to Kyiv back in February to show Italy's continuous support for Ukraine. Now, after those two political meetings, President Zelensky will come here, right behind me, in St. Peter's Square, where he will have a private audience with Pope Francis, sending weapons and money to support President Zelensky. And in a recent BBC interview, he said that Western sanctions to Russia are working, especially when it comes to Russia's defense operation. But of course, as you mentioned, there isn't a huge appetite here from lots of political leaders. You've got, for example, Silvio Berlusconi, who's the leader of a centre-right party that's currently in government, who has very strong ties with Russian President Vladimir Putin. He's even said a few weeks ago that if given the opportunity, he would not want to meet President Zelensky because he feels that he is to blame for the war. So, of course, today a very tough balancing act diplomatically for Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, who instead has been very vocal in showing her support, her continuous support for President Zelensky.
All right.
Since Russia invaded Ukraine last year, the Pope has called for peace in Ukraine time and again. And even though he does not take political sides, this meeting is very symbolic.
Silvio Berlusconi is part of the governing coalition and an old friend of Vladimir Putin's. He blames Mr. Zelensky for the war.